Ido Naor представит нам сейчас, как можно украсть бензин.
Dennis, did you say something about me? No?
Yes.
Did you say something? Okay. So my name is Ido. I'll be presenting myself in just a minute, but just a short disclaimer before we start. The entire data of this presentation has been acquired with full agreement from an anonymous gas station owner, and all the vulnerabilities were reported to the manufacturer. I'm not going to show all the vulnerabilities. I'm going to show maybe 2 of them, maybe 3, but I'm not going to go into the 0 days themselves because they weren't fixed yet. So a little bit about myself. I'm a senior researcher for Kaspersky. I'm based in Israel. Great global research and analysis team. Anyone knows what the great team is? Raise your hand. Great team. Global research analysis. Best people, viruses, APT, nothing. You're all with 0 days, right? Who cares about APTs from the attacker side? So what we do, since around, I think, 2008, since Stuxnet or whatever, Kaspersky decided that we need like a group of people who would actually be hunting for APT actors. And not only hunting for APT actors, but also collect information about them and collect telemetry and just feed our KSN, the Kaspersky Security Network, with this information so we could have the higher advantage on our opponents. I'm focusing on the Middle East, obviously. Threat actors like Oil Rig, Greenbug, Shamoon. I don't know if you ever heard about them. So I enjoy responsible disclosure. I actually found bugs in many very common platforms like on Google, on Facebook, on LinkedIn, eBay, Alibaba, if anyone knows about it. And my recent one on Instagram, if you heard about the database leakage from Instagram, so I was the one reporting to Facebook about it. But hackers was faster than me, and they extracted all the information from the Instagram databases. So in the IDF, I was in the Special Intelligence Unit, not as a technical person, but as a commander, as a combatant. And I know Russia really likes military. I know because I went to every mall, and every mall has like this military store when you can buy like everything, like guns or armors. I have no idea why. Really fascinating. You also have like kids outfits, right? So you can actually put like military outfits on 5-year-olds. What the fuck, you know? But yeah, I don't know. We have to go to the army. Like in Israel, we have to go to the army, and we hate it. Over here, do you have to go to the army? No. And you like it. Like it's something really cool in Russia, which is nice. You also have like a number of colors, like the blue or the white for the snow. Really cool. I'm 32 years old, father of 3 daughters, which I dearly like and love. And I'm the author and owner of Virus Bay, which is a new project I founded just 2 weeks ago with a friend. I do martial arts for around 15 years, so if you're interested in anything about martial arts, you can come and meet me later. If you're interested in a fight or something, I'm up for it. So a couple of words about Virus Bay. First of all, if you go to Twitter and you look for Virus Bay, we have like a code for this conference. It's uppercase ZeroNights 17, and you can register online, and I'll tell you what it is. So in Kaspersky, I had a lot of experience with contacting a lot of vendors, and they really like the fact that Kaspersky has a lot of viruses. So they always ask me for samples, and at a certain point, I said, well, it's a problem because I cannot answer everyone. I have to have some sort of a community for them to request samples and for someone to answer. So that's one feature on Virus Bay. The other one are like really robust and advanced forums, or in a way like Stack Overflow for viruses. Because when I upload stuff for Stack Overflow, it was denied because it's not for programming. So we developed that stuff. And then people said, okay, we don't want to only request samples, we want to upload samples. So we let them upload samples, and everything is tag-based, which is very convenient for people who are in the virus world. So we asked around who want to join, and a lot of people wanted to join. We have a lot of users, around the 300 and something, more than 60 companies, and you can see like the familiar icons of the companies who were interested. And we're going to be in Black Hat next month. If someone is going to be there, he can come and meet me. So let's start with the real deal. What happened? I will start from the bottom. So basically what happened was one of the, what we are looking at is actually the Linux embedded unit, which is located within the gas station. I got this picture from the user manual, actually, and it somehow was really good for the first slide so we could understand where we are. Now you can look, for people who are in the hardware world, can immediately identify where are the vulnerabilities or what could go wrong with this type of controller when it's located within a gas station and can control dispensers. So I went to the website and I looked for information about what this is. So they say it's at the heart of the fueling station, providing complete and secure site automation, managing the dispensers, payment, and payment terminal. Well, secure, okay, but pwned. So I don't know. I tried to look for more information about how they assume it's secure, but it's there for too much time to be secure. So how does it look in the architecture? This is from the website. This is the actual architecture that they draw. And I'm going to focus about this place and this place, which are the areas that I found connected to the internet. And I found 0 days here on the store, in the actual connectivity to car, and on the dispenser themselves. But I don't know if you noticed, but there is another side which I won't be touching today, and that is the fleet management. So the same company who runs an automation, site automation for gas stations also run fleet management for cars. So for example, if you have a company that has 2,000 cars, they will deploy something on your car that could transfer data from the car to a main server 24/7, and it has a 3G card, so you can basically contact it with SMS. So there is some 0 days over there as well. It's basically communicating on AT&T commands. You're probably familiar with AT&T commands. So is it still out there, like what we are talking about? I already showed the disclaimer, so you can find it everywhere. Like if you go to a station, to be honest, in Russia, I couldn't find one of the gas stations, but I found a lot of them all around the world. So they are everywhere, the logo is everywhere, and they are installed on almost every gas station. So it's interesting like what you can find on the user manual, because usually when you're in the user manual, you think yourself, well, you know, I would probably look for familiar words, and I will find some specific information about the device, and probably, you know, general information. I don't think I would see something that makes interest. So I thought to myself, well, I wonder how they are connecting to the box. And I was really surprised to see that they are still connecting with Hyper Terminal. And I was like, what? You're connecting to the gas station with Hyper Terminal? Is that even possible? Like, it is possible, and this device connects to it. Other type we saw, so basically, if you're scrolling down the manual even more, you can see that it's actually showing you where the embedded box is in the network. So you can see that it's connected to everything. You can see that it controls everything. And the names of the you can say, not devices, but software inside will take you to even more information which could help you increase the attack surface. So it is really, so we said that it's located here, and coming from the head office, like on the top left, it will be really fast if you find a vulnerability to just get in there and just find your way into the embedded box. So user manual has a little more information than what I expected. So I looked for the word password, and I thought, well, you know, it will probably contain something that says switch the password, or once you have that, force some sort of temporary password to switch, and I was wrong. There was a lot of mentioning for passwords for many type of services, which was crazy in a way. And I thought to myself, what? Do you think I can maybe try default passwords and maybe get in? So let's try. Let's take one of the interfaces. And this is the interface. And I said, okay, I have the agreement. I can start looking for maybe I can get in. And to my surprise, I got in. Now I'm in the gas station. I can see like license plates. I can see the pumps. I can see everything. Now this is not a webcam. Like, what the fuck? What am I doing now? I had no idea. So access was granted, and now I'm thinking to myself, am I continuing with this research? Am I trying to dig more into it? Is it enough for me to just let the manufacturer handle with? And I said, well, yes and no. I will let them know, and then we will continue with the research because I have approval from the gas station owner. So I started navigating inside, and I'm looking at this. So this is actually a form to change the price. So you can basically change prices in gas station, and this is going live. I didn't know it's going live, but we will see that it is. So I'm thinking, okay, maybe I can, maybe I don't, maybe I can't, but I will leave it aside for now. But what if you don't have default password? So, niet, right? I'm good. You know, fact that I forgot. I can read Russian. I can read and write in Russian because I went to a military school and I had a lot of Russian friends. But I have no idea what I'm reading or writing unless it's something like globally, like names or like stuff that I could really know. So basically writing niet is really easy. So what if you cannot get in? Well, there is an oopsie daisy in this story because the manufacturer did a big mistake. Can anyone guess what mistake? Come on. Guess. What mistake can they possibly do in the login that could allow hackers to get in without using default passwords? What? SQL injection? Maybe. Oh, it was SQLI? Maybe. What else? Come on, think more. Think into the code. Brute force is easy. Something which will knock you. No, we are still on that interface, like the same interface. And think about, I have approval from the gas station to take... What? Not client side, even deeper into the code. Password reset, no. Are you ready? Open your mouth wide. Super admin passwords in the code. In the dump, super admin passwords, so you can access every gas station, anywhere. This is like they implemented a backdoor for everyone. So if you have access to the code, you can actually find it. All you need to do is ask nicely from a gas station owner, or maybe get the box in some way and get the software, reverse engineer it, and just look for strings. So once you have this, you can cook yourself an exploit. But we had more than that. We had also like remote code execution using some buffer overflows, which was very easy because the guys were using CGI components. CGI components, you know, back in the days. So if you really, I'd say, invest time in it, you're probably going to find like 40 more 0 days in it. But we were enough with it. So we said, okay, what do we need to do? We want to try and change prices, right? So let's use what we have. Who needs to use the remote code execution when we have the default password? So what we did, we just write a short Python code. I'm not showing you all the Python code, taking out, like truncating the host. And I'm actually asking for this area where the price change is to just change the price. And here is the proof of concept. So I'm in the gas station. It says diesel in Hebrew, and it says 6.66. It's in shekels. How much is gas in Russia? How much do you pay for a gallon? How much do you pay for a gallon? How do you say how much do you pay? Skolka vrema il gas station? Oh, you speak English? Oh my God, you speak English. What's your name?
My name is Oleg.
How old are you?
35.
How many kids do you have? No, seriously, how much is a gallon in 35 rubles? Okay, 35 rubles. So in Israel, it's pretty expensive. Does it count expensive? I don't know. Bene mano. Thomas, wake up. How much is gas in Switzerland? Expensive. That's a great answer. Expensive. So what we did, there's just a small shell code that just runs, takes the IP address from remote, take the price that we want to change to, because I didn't want to take like 1.337, like Dennis suggested, which says lit for those who didn't understand, 1337. And then I take the product ID. And then the code execution started, successfully logged in, and I'm not going to show you the command line, right? So I just mimicked it. And then it changed prices from the 6.66, and price will be changed to 6.54, which I chose randomly, and you can enjoy cheap gas. Voila, 6.54. Right here. I don't know if you see it. I could have changed it to anything I wanted. But this is like the live proof that I wasn't sitting at home and locally changing prices like in my dump, and nothing actually happens live. So let's move to other interfaces. We can see on the top left corner, port 8090. This is actually, so what we saw, the interface was the gas station interface for the shift. So you can manage shift, and you can get reports out, and you can, I don't know, like follow the payments, and maybe extract some license plates. But this thing is actually the administrator panel, where you can circumvent the networking, and you can change a lot of different stuff, which I'm not going to show how we got to. And I said, what? Oh my God, now you can get into the gas station and change everything you want. And then we were like inside, and I said, let's inject something here. And I got this code injection, like right from there. Right? You know, this type of stuff I expected not to be, okay? You can also access other layers in the network. The old-fashioned X11. What? It's for debugging, and it's for really nice use. It also open, whether it has like default passwords or not, you can access it. So what can an attacker do with it? So basically, I know you're probably thinking in your mind what an attacker can do with it. They can circumvent the operation of the OT controllers. So basically, there is like this big tank filled with gas. And you can like circumvent something that has to do with the floating point of the gas. And when the big truck comes to fill up gas, you can always say like, I'm empty, I'm empty, I'm empty, and it will fill gas until it will be an overflow. So it's somewhat life-risking, I would say. You can shut down all of them, like by one click. I assume you guys can too, but I can like write code like 25 lines, maybe 25 if I'm not going into like one-liner, 25 lines of code, and I can shut down all of these like by one click. You can change the fueling price, which you already saw. You can modify payment processing. So one of our ideas was actually to create commission in the payment terminal. So for every transaction, you can split the transaction into two, and then we as attackers can get commission on it. So just to do the multiplication in your head, you have around like 1,000 gas stations. Every gas station makes around 50,000, like $15,000 each day. And think about what happens if you take a commission of, I don't know, $1 from each one of the transactions for a month. You get around, how much do you think? How much do you think after 1 month of commission? How much can an attacker get without nobody seeing anything? How much? You. How much? You. Yeah, you. How much do you think? I want you to play with me. Play along. Million, 10 million, 20 million. More. How much do you think? 10 years of jail. Probably, it depends where you're coming from. If I'm coming from Russia, probably nobody will do anything. But if I'm coming from Israel, probably after 1 day, I'll be in prison. Around $20 million. Yeah. It will be a good month, you know? I'm probably going to close what my wife spends in the mall, you know? So it went through my mind, you know? I think that what's separate me from being a black hat and a white hat is my wife at the mall. It's like, come back home. So you can infect the system with ransomware, which is easily, you know? You can just infect it, demand money, which will be very good. And you can move freely in the network and get some other devices. So there are a lot of monitoring devices inside. You have the convenience store. So you can access the convenience store and maybe order some snacks at home, you know. While you're hacking, you're probably hungry. You want to order something home. Or access the cameras as well, if you're really interested. We have some reserved CVEs. Someone talked about SQL injection. Yeah, we found that as well. We found the hard-coded superadmin, some persistent XSS. I don't know why we put it there, but whatever, it's there for the variety. Some insecure communication inside the network and from outside. So all the communication, they had like self-signed certificates. Nothing is really encrypted. Code injection, which I showed you, and some buffer overflow, which I haven't showed you, and I think you can find more of them. So for now, the manufacturer is not responding, but I will show you in just 1 second how I assured he will respond. So where are they laid? In Singapore, in Czech, in Israel, Turkey, Spain, Chile, United States. The majority is in the United States and India. So for the manufacturer to react after, I think, 2 months, I sent them emails and they did not. I just alerted the US CERT. And the US CERT is in process of communicating with the manufacturer, which is now working. I can assure you it's working. How much time do I have? I don't know. Anyways, I also told the Israeli CERT, so they can also create the research or contact the manufacturer. And I suggest you or whoever you are telling the story on not to try access those devices, because I think the US government are really interested in monitoring them, okay? So if you do it safely. So conclusions. Fuel stations are really cool, right? You have a lot of interfaces, a lot of nice stuff. We haven't saw them a lot. Like, we always research for cameras, ICS, everybody are like into, oh, I can get this factory to work however I want, but we completely forgot about the gas stations, and they are there. They miss us. They want us to you know, show some passion. We possess skills for the greater good. So I say, if you meet something, whether it's gas station or not, whatever, think about how you can do good and not bad. Because doing bad is really easy. You can easily do, I could easily do something with it without anyone knowing between us. Anyone. And I chose the good, and I encourage you to choose the same. IoT devices has been there for years. So this device has been deployed for 10 years. We found traces in the dump that takes us 10 years back to its installation. If you compile the right content, report only when you have POC, because when I reported to US CERT, they wanted to see POC. If you have 0 days involved, report it to CERT. Report it to someone, or I don't know, each and everyone with his choice. And if you need more information, I'm on Twitter, I'm on Facebook as well, on Instagram, whatever you want. You can contact me regarding anything. And that's it. I think here I'm done. So thank you guys, and have a fun ride home if you're not from Russia. And if you are, thank you for having me.